Hey guys, so today's video I will be doing a review and swatches slash demo slash first impressions of the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette. I'm so excited to see how this palette will turn out. If you would like to know how I feel about this palette, then please keep watching. Okay, so before we get into the demo slash first impression, I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of a background of the palette and just a bit more information about the palette before we go into it. Okay, so I'm pretty sure, or like I'm assuming, that the palette itself is actually the same price as the Rose Gold palette, which is her other textured palette. But I could be wrong, so I'm not too sure. I don't even know if she's even mentioned the price yet because it actually hasn't launched. It will launch on September 18. The Rose Gold palette is $95. So this might be around the same price as it. I'm not too sure. By the way, that's $95 Australian. I'm not sure about where it is in your country, but yeah, just go look it up. I'm going to show you guys exactly what you get. So I'm pretty sure this is what you guys will get. So this is what the packaging looks like from the outside. You'll get this beauty, and it's also reflective, as you can see. You'll see there's this beautiful big mirror, which is what I personally love. It does come with this plastic little sheet right here. It actually has Huda's eyes on it. I don't know if you guys can actually see that. Maybe you can see it. There it is. Okay, so in this palette you'll get 8 matte shades, 6 pressed pearls, 3 duochrome toppers, and you also get 1 pure glitter.
Let's have a bit of fun till I downfall. My love, if you feel like I do right now, don't say you're on the run to the other side, my love. But you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you want.
So now the time that you guys have all been waiting for is how do they perform on the eyes? Because honestly, finger swatches don't really do products justice to me. You're not really going to apply your eyeshadow with your finger. It's mostly with a brush. Except for the shimmery colors, I understand. But for the matte, I feel like for me to actually test how they work, we're gonna have to blend it into our eyes, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and do some type of look. I already put my foundation on, my contour, my eyebrows. I haven't set my lids though yet, so you can see they are kind of creasing. So let's go ahead and do that, and we'll just get started on the eyeshadow. So first shade we're gonna go in with is the shade Eden, which is like this beautiful coral kind of shade. Taking it on my Sigma Tapered Blending E40 brush, I'm just gonna put that into my crease. First initial thoughts of this shade, that blended out really, really well. I'm just gonna do the same thing on the other side, that way I don't really forget what I do, because at the end of this, I'm really not gonna remember what I did. Next shade we're gonna go in with is the shade called Amber. I'm just gonna take that on the same brush and apply that lower into our crease. Wow. Guys, these shades are so pigmented. I barely had to put any pressure on my brush, guys. Honestly, I would have a better opinion, right, if I had tried the Rose Gold palette and just seen, you know, whether it's the same or just to kind of compare them. But I actually don't have that palette. I've actually never tried that palette. I couldn't really tell you guys whether it's the same consistency or whether they're different. But you know what, I'm just going off of, you know, what this palette is giving me, and the shades are actually turning out so well. Next shade I'm going to go in with is the shade called Saffron, which is this maroon shade. I still don't know where I'm going with this, so bear with me. We'll figure it out. We're just going to apply this more so to the outer. This is amazing. You can even see so yourself how well this is performing on my eyes right now. I'm going to kind of blend it into the center. We're going to leave this lid portion kind of clear because I am planning on putting one of these duochromes on. I forgot to mention there is absolutely no fallout happening. And I was actually scared about that because I'm actually not wearing like any powder, like I haven't baked. So if anything comes under, I probably won't be able to clean it up. But so I'm taking Blazing, which is like a really nice warm orange, and just applying that into the crease. I'm just taking the shade OUD. So I'm taking that on the outer edge right here. I'm thinking of going in with the purples on the bottom lash line, but for now we're gonna just stick to warms on the top. So first shade I'm gonna go in with is Angelique, and this is the one of the pressed pearls. So this shade, it says right here, it's a high shine shimmering pearl formula, and it layers effortlessly on top of matte to add depth and shine to the lids. So I am going to apply this on top of a matte, so we'll see how that one goes. I'm going to apply it with a flat brush because I feel like it'll work a lot better. This shade really reminds me of that pinkish goldish shade in the Jaclyn Hill palette. Really, really similar. I think it was called Jada or Sissy. I don't even know. I'm just assuming. Yeah, you can see it has that beautiful reflex to it. Kind of like got a goldish but a pinkish type of reflex. No problems applying it. It's just applying like every other shimmer shade. It's just a stunning color though. I'm gonna switch brushes, guys, and go in with my trusty old MAC 242, which is my favorite for shimmers. And this time I'm gonna go in with Turkish Delight, which is the most stunning maroonish, I don't know, reflective, beautiful shade. This one we're gonna put on this outer area right here. Oh, I love this shade. I am so psyched to see how this will turn out, guys, because the glitter in the pan looks absolutely insane. This shade's called Cosmo, and we're gonna apply that to the center of the lid, right around here. So we're gonna see how that turns out. Ooh, okay. Gonna keep going. Alright, and just for the sake of the video, I actually want to try and see how this will turn out if we do it wet. I just wet my brush with a little bit of Fix Plus, and now we're going to go in with Cosmo once again. It's kind of like a loose glitter inside of a pan. I don't really know how to explain this shade. Like, you can actually pick it up with the brush. It's kind of like a spoon. Do you guys see that? It's like loose inside of a pan. Yeah, okay. It works so much better when it's wet. Wow. Definitely would prefer it wet, just because you can see how intense the glitter turns out when, you know, you're applying it with a wet brush. Oh, guys, that is stunning. Ooh, so excited. I'm going to go back in with that brown shade just to really define this out really well. I have no words. Okay, let's move on to the bottom lash line. I'm going to take the shade Twilight, which is like this purple with a bit of like a blue reflex to it. So far, so good. That purple on the bottom lash line is so stunning. It really makes my eyes pop because they are brown, so any type of like cool tone purple shades really complement my eye color. Next, for the last shade, I'm taking this small pencil brush by Morphe. It's the E36, and we're gonna go straight in with Amethyst, which is this purple matte shade. This is where we'll know, because purples are actually, ooh, guys, that swatch that I did earlier, it did look really rough, but I mean, honestly, this is applying so beautifully. Alright guys, so because this palette is actually lacking like an inner corner highlight, I'm actually going to go ahead and take a color I personally have myself. This is just from the Anastasia Nicole Guerrero palette. I am absolutely living for that glitter on my lid. That is so stunning. Look at that. Alright, so overall, what do I think about the Desert Dusk palette from Huda Beauty? These are really high quality shades. I'm not gonna lie, they're actually really beautiful. The only thing that I would say is when I was swatching the shade Amethyst, it did go on patchy. But then again, I'm not really gonna go ahead with finger swatches and kind of test it off of that. I'm gonna test it on how it blended on my eyes. And to be honest with you guys, the bottom lash line blended so beautifully with the purple. So really there's nothing bad to say about Amethyst at the end. Also the glitter shade, the shade Cosmo, it is better to use it wet. If I use the shade Cosmo on a dry brush, it just didn't pop as much as I would like it to, especially because it is glitter. Other than that, the mattes blended out really well. I'm not gonna say anything was wrong with them. There was no fallout. There was a little bit of fallout with the glitter, but honestly it's to be expected. It is a glitter. In terms of the pressed pearls, Turkish Delight was my absolute favorite shade out of all of them. All of these shades I feel like would pop a lot more if they were applied wet, but you really don't have to apply them wet. Whereas in her textured palette, I do know that some of them you would have to apply with your finger, you'd have to apply with you know, like a spray, but some of these shades you really don't have to. And you can do so many looks using this palette. It's just I have to kind of be my creative self and try and step out of my comfort zone and do something a bit different. So I did try and go ahead and go in with a bit of the purple under my lash line, which I really loved. They're really high quality shades. They blend like butter. And yeah, that's basically all I have to say about the palette. But other than that, I really hope you guys enjoyed this review slash swatches slash demo of the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette, and this one launches on September 18th. Other than that, please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I will leave all of my links down below in terms of my lipstick and my foundation that I'm wearing and all of that good stuff down below, as well as my social media links and my other platforms that you guys can follow me on. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Say that it feels right.